Hey, what's up? It's David Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producers. Today we're going to talk about final expense carriers that take Direct Express, in addition to giving you my heed of warning or words of wisdom, perhaps. A little perspective behind Direct Express, especially generated to those of you who are new to the business and don't know exactly what Direct Express is about and how it works. So let's start there. So what is Direct Express? Direct Express is essentially a checklist checking card that is sponsored, I guess you could say, by the U.S. government and is offered to those people who are getting on some sort of fixed income, whether it's disability, commonly disability, as well as retirement and getting Social Security. And if they don't have a bank account or don't want their check to be drafted into their regular bank account, it goes onto this green Direct Express card. That's the company name. And it's essentially a debit card that doesn't have any checks on it, nor does it allow bank drafts. Unlike a lot of banks that have debit cards, you can't actually get the checking account to target it. So what about this is an issue, or why should you be concerned about something like this? So here's the thing. When you've got a Direct Express card, essentially what you have is a person, I would say 98% of the time, who doesn't have a bank account. Okay, right now it's 2018. You're probably seeing this in 2019 and beyond. Imagine a person in today's age who doesn't have a bank account. What does that entail? What does that mean? And you need to think about this. What I have realized, and this is after years of selling and working with Direct Express, is that people who don't have a bank account these days and ages is because they can't get a bank account. And usually it's because they owe a bank money somewhere. They were put in a position to where they don't know how to manage their finances. They certainly don't know how to balance their checkbook. And they went and spent some money and ended up $300, $400, $500 in debt, never paid it off. And you see the banks have some kind of credit reporting apparatus where if you owe a bank money, they report your name to a credit bureau, and you can't open a bank account until you pay the other one off. So what's happened is there's a lot of people who are 50 and older who have always lived like this and never owed any money, or they owed money to a bank, but now they're receiving a check and the government requires the money to be put on a bank account. So the solution, because a lot of people can't get a bank account, they end up getting Direct Express when they hit retirement or Social Security or disability, whatever it is. So here's the rub. What does all this mean? Why does this matter? Because these people suck with money. Best way to put it. They just are not good at managing things. Here today, gone tomorrow. And what happens is that Direct Express people tend to blow their money a lot faster than we'd like. So there's a couple of components that if you ever write Direct Express, you have got to make sure that you're doing. So the first thing you've got to make sure you're doing is use a carrier that uses a Social Security deposit date format. Most commonly, the carriers that use that are Transamerica, Prosperity, as of this recording, and Family Benefit Trinity Life. What this does, instead of hitting it on a numerical draft date, it hits it on a fixed date. You see, anybody who use Direct Express, they're paid on the first third of the month or second, third, or fourth Wednesday. And there's days when the third and the first fall on a weekend or a holiday, and then those people get paid earlier, the day or two earlier, but drafts don't come out till several days later. And when you got a type of client that's not good with money and you draft them late, they're going to take all their money out and probably burn you. So the deposit draft format that at the aforementioned companies, they draft on the deposit dates, not the numerical dates. Does that make sense? So it puts you in a better position to collect faster on these people and have better business quality. Otherwise, what you'll find happening is if you use carriers that don't use this Social Security deposit form, you're going to end up with horrific persistency. I would suggest probably 50%. That means if you write 100 Direct Express, half will be on the books after 12 months. That stinks. You don't want that in this business. So let's go ahead and recap a couple of things here. So I want to throw this warning out here to you because Direct Express, a lot of people run into it, can't write it, wonder what carriers will take it. Just understand what you're getting into. There are people who will not write Direct Express, period. I've met them. They just will not do it. They've had too much problems with it. I think you shouldn't pass it up. You should just have a carrier that you put the Direct Express business with because of the persistency issues. And let me list the ones that take it. So again, Transamerica, Prosperity Life, Great Western as well, AIG, Security National, Trinity, and Family Benefit Life. They all take it. Most of them, there's a few of them that don't have the Direct Express deposit format option. So just tread lightly when you write this business. And again, if there's anything you take away from this, is you've got to use that form, and if you can't, you got to draft on the deposit date. The longer you wait to take money from these people on premiums, the more problems you're going to have. And you'll remember what Uncle Dave said: don't do that, and you'll have all sorts of issues. Last thing I'll say is, you may be wondering too, is there ways to get advances on Direct Express? No. And even if there was, I would never suggest it. There have been carriers that used to advance on Direct Express, and they have got so many chargeback problems. There's one in particular that's out of the business now. Used to be in final expense, and man, they had a bunch of roll-ups, bunch of debt issues because people just lapse or lapse-o-matics. My name is David Duford. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the idea of selling final expense, you want to pick up some good carriers, maybe some of the ones I mentioned here you don't have, you want to see the kind of carriers I could offer you to help you out, the type of commissions I could get you, here's what you need to do. Go to davidduford.com, click the link that says Join David's Insurance Agency, and then you can learn more about how I help both new and experienced agents in the business. If you like this video, thumbs it up, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe too. And David Duford here is logging out. See you next time. Bye.